I want to talk about good and bad days and how they affect us, and maybe share a little bit of my own psyche with people, and maybe make you think about things. I don't know, but it's been a couple weeks since I'm going to speak them. You know, with San Diego Comic Con being a big deal, I kind of took a couple weeks off, but I did promise you guys I'd be doing one at least every 2 weeks. Sometimes, of course, it might be every 3 weeks, but Speak Them Saturdays are back, and I want to talk about like good and bad days. So, I'm recording this at on August 3rd at 6:25 in the morning. It's probably going to go up at around a few hours from now, maybe 10, 11 a.m. I haven't decided yet, but early Saturday morning on the East Coast, of course, in the United States of America. I had a rough day yesterday. Yesterday was a very, very rough day. A very close friend of mine, who actually, it's kind of funny because I'm not going to say who it is, but it's somebody who's kind of quasi-famous, I would say, had a rough day with his personal life, and you know the word suicide was thrown around, and I'm trying to be there for him. And then on top of that, you know, I had car problems. My car did some really weird things. Like, I guess the shifter broke, so my car was stuck in reverse. So I'm about to hit. It's actually kind of funny now looking back, you know, which is going to get to my point of the video. You know, I put the car in reverse, and it was stuck in reverse for you know, for like it was stuck there, and I had to like stop the car, put the e-brake on, and like then the shifter broke and I couldn't turn it back on, and so I was in the shop, and then like I bought a new phone. I actually have a new phone now, a new cell phone, and then it took 7 hours to transfer the number because the people at the phone company were very incompetent. You know, I talked to 4 different people, and the 5th one is the one that actually helped me. And you know how that is. I know y'all know how that is. And I know it's first world problems, but it's like all of that happening in one day. Plus, I've been really, really bummed out because, like, over on Geekdom 101, I've been trying my best to get more information about what happened with Dragon Ball Super. If you're a follower of that channel, you know what I'm talking about. And I've been trying to talk to people about it, and people just aren't talking anymore. I don't know if you know, well, I have an idea. I can't really talk too much about it. I have ideas of what could have happened, but people are just kind of clamming up about it. So as of right now, this has become like a top secret project that nobody's talking about anymore. At least not to us or to anybody else. Maybe because they're afraid of, I don't know, losing their job. I'm going to keep investigating the best I can, but that just really kind of bummed me out because, you know, when you have like a rough day, on top of the fact that me being a YouTuber and being at the size that I'm at on the other channel, not so much this one, this is more of a personal channel. On the other channel, you know, you have to deal with people literally critiquing every single thing that you do, even if you have no malicious intent, even if you have nothing negative at all to say. You have to always deal with people attacking you all the time, even if you're a good person, right? And I'm not saying that I'm a good person necessarily, even though I think that I am. I'm not saying I'm an angel, but I have some of my friends on this platform who have never messed with anybody. They don't mess with nobody, and they've been attacked and slandered. It's just the way it is on the internet, and it's really easy for somebody online to say, oh, well, you're a YouTuber, you have to deal with it. No, nobody should have to deal with that. I don't go to your job and tell you how much you suck at it all the time. And it's funny because another thing about that is, you know, 99% of the comments that I get and the feedback I get is positive. Like I'm pretty damn well beloved in this fandom. A lot of people love me, from the companies to the actors to the fans. But there's that 1% or 0.1% or whatever that gets under my skin because they tend to misrepresent what you say, or they judge you as a person, which kind of makes them slime balls because you don't know. I've said it so many times. You don't know somebody else. You don't know people on the internet. You don't know shit about them. You don't know. You don't know. You can sit there and assume, oh, this person's that. Oh, you know, he's not making money, or he is making money, or this and that, or he's, you know, he's broke and he did this, or you know, he's a prick and he's an egomaniac. I've heard everything. I have heard everything, right? You know, he secretly works for this company, like all this bullshit. And that's the thing, is like you have to roll with the punches. But some days are worse than others. See what I'm saying? Like some days you can roll with the punches and just be okay. Other days it gets to you, especially when you have other bad things going on. One of the things that I've learned about emotions as human beings is that, they say misery loves company. Well, that means two different things. It's not just that when you're lonely you want to be with somebody. It's also the fact that when bad things happen to you, it makes other bad things seem worse. You know what I mean? It's that whole Chicken Little thing. So, like yesterday, I had phone problems, I had car problems, and like it wasn't even that expensive to fix the car. And the phone took up a bunch of my time, but it's fixed. So it wasn't that bad. It was like, oh, whatever. This is just stuff that happens in life, right? Just roll with the punches. But when you have all these bad things happen at once, it becomes what I call a bad day, right? It becomes a bad day. And yesterday I had a bad day. You know what I mean? I had a kind of a rough day. I was kind of alone most of the day. Just trying to figure things out and get through the day. And I was not really motivated to do anything yesterday. And it kind of sucked. But I always say, I have to practice what I preach. And I always say, if you're having a bad day, tomorrow will be better. And usually it is. Usually it is better. Because if you have a really bad day, the next day could be worse. But there's probably a good chance it won't be as bad. And that's something you have to think about. And I know people out there can relate to this, which is why I'm putting this video out. You know what I mean? So when you're having a bad day and you see somebody saying something about you that's not true, it makes the day go by. It makes the day even worse. It's like, and that's the thing, is that you don't know what someone's going through. I don't know how many times I've said that on here. Like, you don't know if, like, let's say, all right, let's talk about, let's just say, let me throw a random name out there. PewDiePie. Right, I'm just going to use him as an example. Very wealthy guy, very successful YouTuber, obviously. Probably the most successful, I would say, maybe. Definitely the biggest channel, solo channel. All right, you know who I'm talking about. People will leave mean comments to him. Whatever, it's how it is. You're a YouTuber. You have to learn to deal with it. But is it really fair? Is it fair that we have to learn to deal with it? Same thing with actors, and musicians. Like, why do we have to take that? Because we're well known and we're good at what we do. It's not really fair. It's not fair. And the thing is, you don't know what PewDiePie would be going through that day. What if his dog died? Like, you don't know. You don't know. So you saying a mean comment to him could possibly make him feel worse. And there's been times in the past where I've said mean comments to people, because I'm guilty of it too. I'm not an idiot. And then I find out what was happening to them that day, and I feel so damn sorry. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't know. I was not intending to be malicious to you, or I didn't intend it to hurt you like that. I've done that, but we all have done that. So on top of, like, my friend talking about suicide, and luckily that's all been, I think it's calmed down. And the car problems, the phone problems, and just dealing with that. I had a rough day yesterday, but I'm hoping that tomorrow is better. And the thing that sucks about, like, depression and being sad is that it's not that you're just, like, I don't have clinical, like, chronic depression. I don't have that. I don't believe I have that. I've never been diagnosed with it, but I have friends who do. And it's that feeling of helplessness. And I kind of felt that way yesterday. Like, I was so frustrated. Like, just, what it's like. Y'all have done it when you're on the phone trying to fix something, like the damn phone, and the person on the other line, that they don't know what they're talking about. Like, please turn off your phone, take off the SIM card. I've already done that with the 3 other people. Can you check how many bars you have? I've already done that with the other people. Can we try a different solution? I'm not an idiot. You know what I'm talking about? I know y'all have done. I know some of y'all have felt this before. It's annoying. It's not like it's a bad thing. Like, the sky is falling, but it's annoying. But you always got to have that hope that tomorrow will be better. And if you have chronic depression, it's very hard to have that. Now, if you have just regular depression, which is what I have, or what I don't even know what you'd call it. There's probably a more scientific name for it. You can bounce back a little bit easier than somebody who's taking medication. You know what I'm saying? But some days are not easy. And every single person on this earth, no matter who they are, no matter how happy they seem, has bad days. And you have to understand that even people who are look at Robin Williams, look at Etika. I brought those up recently. They might smile and be this vibrant person, this this happy person, comedian, tell jokes, but you don't know what's going on the inside. I dealt with that in a previous relationship where, one of my exes would always criticize me for, being on social media and being positive, not realizing I was in a deep depression. It would just because I'm posting happy things on Twitter and Facebook and, uploading videos nowadays, maybe not at that time, this might have been before I did YouTube, doesn't mean that I'm actually in a good mood. But sometimes you don't want to talk about your problems to people on the internet. And it's not a good idea. Like, it's not a good idea to just go on social media and talk to people about your problems. It's usually better to talk to your friends about it. You know what I mean? But again, if you have to, it usually means it's a cry for help, that there's something really wrong. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, you will have people reach out and try to help you. But like I've said before, it takes a friend to really reach out and actually say, yo, let's have a conversation. You know what I mean? Not this Twitter, Facebook comment crap. Like, actually, let's talk about this, And no matter what, I do believe that we all have friends out there, even if it's just one or two, and we should value them. But anyways, yeah, good and bad days. And then some days you'll have good days where things really go your way and you're happy and you're smiling and you're with friends and family or whatever. You accomplish something. That's just the fact of life. So just remember that for all the bad days you have, if you can center yourself and say, you know what? I have X amount of bad days, but you know what? I'm going to make myself have X amount of good days, which you can do. You can make yourself have good days by doing things you love, feeling free, whether it be like going out and getting a big meal or running around your backyard or playing video games all day, whatever you do to make you feel better. And actually, I just came up with an idea for another speak to them. I might do a speak to them about why video games aren't necessarily bad for you, even though there's studies that say they are, in the sense of sometimes video games can be a coping mechanism for us. Sometimes we play video games to escape reality. So it's almost like alcohol in a way. You know what I'm saying? I've done that before, and I'm sure some of you have too. I might do a different speak to them on that, though. I got to think about that a little bit more research. I don't want to give false information out. But bottom line of this one is good days, bad days, they come and go. But you will survive. And remember, there's always good days ahead.